I've been keeping a secret. The first of the Techtonica trailers has finally dropped, and we've learned that the game is coming out to early access on July 18th. And I am super excited, but not just because the game is coming out soon, but because I finally get to let you in on a secret I've been hiding. And that's that I actually been working on the factories that are used in the trailers. And today, I finally get to share with you how this happened and all of the juicy details of playing Techtonica. I do want to mention up front that this video is not sponsored by Firehose Games, but they have given me permission to share my experiences with you. I know the burning question is, how did you get the opportunity to build factories for the Techtonica trailers? I'm not 100% sure myself, but it did start back in March when they approached me about the idea. I was not really sure they had the right person. There are so many talented factory builders and content creators out there that could have easily gone with any one of them. But the gamer in me couldn't pass up the chance to check out Techtonica and just enjoy the factory building process. Back in the Techtonica Alpha and the demo, the world wasn't quite as large and the colors more dark and not quite as vibrant. But I was blown away by the absolute beauty and how much the world has changed since then. Now sure, I had a job to do, but that didn't stop me from exploring this new underground world. I walked down beautifully lit caverns, enjoyed the wonders and vibrant colors of the local vegetation, and wondered what secrets were inside long-forgotten facilities. While the artistic style of the world was a delightful experience to my eyes, the audio was just as enjoyable to my ears. The crisp sound of machines building, the little rum that the drills make, the crushing stamp of the assemblers, as well as the music that serenaded me as I explored the world. It was all wrapped up in a story, a mystery about why we were there and what had happened before we woke up.
I don't understand.
The new player experience has definitely received a bit of an overhaul. The game better guides you during your first steps into the world. I remember hearing some people not finding out about the mole for hours into the demo version of the game. I can assure you that the early game experience is a much more smooth process. We also have a fully fleshed out progression tree and technology upgrades to go with it. We'll not focus too much on that, as it will probably go through some balance changes and tweaks between now and early access. But there are plenty of upgrades you'll want to get to help improve your factory. While there are still a few upgrades hidden around the map, the main progression is definitely more accessible as you play through the game. Additionally, the mole has gotten some upgrades as well. No longer will we be limited by that 5x5 demolition area. With up to a 12x12 digging mode, we'll be able to carve out our own caverns for our factories much more quickly than before. Techtonica, my friends, has come a long way from its humble beginnings. There is so much more I want to tell you, but I have deadlines and I need to build some factories. I wanted to preserve the beauty of this world, so when I got started on my first factory, I made it a point to protect it as much as possible. So I began by building factories into the environment where I could, the humble exteriors hiding the larger inner workings going on behind it. I built sprawling tunnels, spiraling belts, and a bit of decoration thrown in for fun. A vertical tower of planters managed my shiverthorn production, and the belt work is an enjoyable sight when seen from another angle. I also built a few little Easter eggs for the developers to find when they were exploring my save, such as this blue core room, which was something I did on a complete whim late at night. I had visions of those deep holes in the Death Star, so using a technique that Sparks is incredibly fond of, I created a big hole and filled it with blue cores and lights. To my surprise, they liked it so much they put it in the trailer. Back to factory work, drills and smelters produced the raw materials I needed, but I didn't want to use belts to get it around. No, I wanted to play with a new toy, the monorail. And oh boy, I enjoyed doing that because I went all in on the monorails, having them hit every corner of my factory and then some. And oh boy, it was a sight to behold. I found myself just watching them whiz back and forth. It was peaceful in its own way. I also wanted to build a much bigger factory, something that would challenge my alpha factory, and I did just that. By building this large factory in another corner of the map, assemblers filling platform after platform, tucked in walls, spiraling belts, waterfall buses, all along with some decent-looking supporting towers. This kind of factory would have decimated my frame rate in the alpha version of the game, but I was still running quite smooth when this beast was running. Not to mention, this build of the game was months behind where early access will be. It was a joy to turn it on and watch the hundreds of assemblers come to life. I decorated it lightly with some lights and research cores, but left it to the beauty of the machines to give it life. Techtonica has really grown into a much better game. The past several months has seen the dedicated developers at Firehose Games meticulously crafting their vibrant new universe. And while working with them, they haven't just engaged with me, but to the entire community that surrounds their creation. Their community managers have been consistently active, acting as a vital bridge between the game and its players. They are ever present on the Discord channels, enthusiastically addressing questions and fostering an atmosphere of open dialogue. The developers themselves frequently chime in, further blurring the lines between creators and players, offering direct insights and exchanges. This level of involvement has unveiled a deep sense of care that the Firehose team holds, not just for their game, but also for their community of players. They're openly shared their philosophy of valuing feedback immensely, revealing that as gamers themselves, their objective has always been to shape a game for the players. Firehose Games isn't a behemoth of a gaming company that just rolls out game after game. They're an independent developer with a heart, aspiring to make Techtonica the embodiment of what their players want it to be. I look forward to the future of the game, where the developers are going to take it further on its own path. In one developer stream, I believe they said that the first release is going to be as vanilla of a factory game as Techtonica will ever be. There won't be any combat in Techtonica, but from there, you will push deeper into the environment, and the environment will push back. There are great factory games out there like Satisfactory, Dyson Sphere Program, Factorio, and so on, and I think Techtonica is definitely a factory game that deserves a place in the playlist. I, for one, wonder where the game will go and what new questions and mysteries await us. There are some other trailer factories to show, but I think I'll save those for a future video. So be sure you check out Techtonica out on July 18th, and go to their Discord and let them know what you think and what you'd like to see. They are listening.
And that's where you come in.
I will return to Techtonica again when the game comes out, bringing you guides and my own Let's Play series as well. And I look forward to seeing your creations as well. See you then, Groundbreakers.